Right. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Melissa and I'm here to lead you through all levels yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes. Just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches don't work for you, you can skip them, come on out and modify. And things that you'll need for your class today is it will be nice to have a yoga mat, a blocker blanket would be great. That would be a nice support for the practice. I'd love to work a bit with a strap today. So I have a yoga strap here. So if you have a yoga strap or exercise strap, also, if you have a minute, you don't have a strap like this, you can get creative with things around the house. So a tie that goes around the neck would work. The strap that goes around a rope would work. A piece of rope, something like that. So we are going to do some stretching with the strap, but of course, if you don't have the strap, you can just do the stretches as we're doing without, and you'll still get a really wonderful stretch. So for our class today, I was thinking that, we could just work on the full body today, do a nice full body flow and stretch just to release a bit of tension in the body. Yoga is so amazing for relaxing, calming the mind and the body, and just kind of centering. I know life can be a little hectic at times, a little chaotic. So this will just be a very nice grounding practice to help you relax and release the day so far. So let's grab onto our strap so that it's close by, and we're going to come down onto our backs and we'll do a little centering here. So that strap, you can just send it off to the side of the mat so that when you need it, you have it close by. And we are just going to let ourselves center here. So traditional Shavasana if you wanted. So you could have your legs relaxed, arms relaxed. And you could also bend your knees and plant your feet. And that would just help to take a little pressure off of the low back. Now, palms can face up. That's a nice gentle rotation of the shoulder. The hands are an expression of receiving. If you wanted to connect more with your body, you can also take your hands on the body as well. Sometimes maybe one hand to the low ribs, one hand to the navel. Allow for your eyes to close. Try to relax your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. Relax the back of your head, the back of your neck. Relax the shoulders, arms, hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. Relax your legs and relax your feet. And then begin to just really connect with your breath. So simply feel the breath flowing in and flowing out of the body. Feel the navel rise as you inhale. Feel the navel fall as you exhale. Feel the ribs expanding as you breathe in and out. And then breathe into the stomach, into the ribs. Breathe to the chest, so right to the collarbone. As you inhale, feel your chest rise. As you exhale, feel your chest fall. And then knowing each time that you breathe, you bring life, you bring oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. And then taking some time here to set an intention. So that might be your own personal goal or desire. It's always so nice to have intention for practice or the day. And this could be anything. It might be that you want to relax a little bit. It might be that you are holding tension and you want to release tension in a particular area. Let's find our way into a full body stretch. So hands can come up and overhead, and maybe point your toes or flex your feet. So that will just help to activate the body. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe arms, hands around knees or shins. And gentle rock to the right and gentle rock to the left. Now let's grab onto that strap. We'll do a bit of stretching here with our strap. So as we grab onto that strap, begin to take the strap around the ball of your right foot and extend your foot right on up to the sky. We are going to circle out that foot a bit here. So maybe find large circles and maybe find smaller circles. And begin to circle in the other direction. And then coming into stillness here, let's begin to walk the hands up the strap. So we'll just encourage that right leg into the body a little bit. And really activate your legs. So try to press firmly out through the heel and the back of the knee. Right foot can take a float to the right. Let's bring ourselves into an inner leg stretch here. And then try to ground evenly through the right side and the left side of the body. Come back on up to center, and your left leg, you can either straighten that leg out if it was bent, and let's give a nice little twist here. So we'll take that right foot to the left, and this will give us that nice IT band stretch. We'll get that nice stretch into the waist and into the side of the body. And gently releasing. Let's float ourselves back to center. Leg can reach and stretch right on up to the sky. Let's take that left foot to meet the right foot. Right leg can relax down. And take that time to find your circles and to create a bit of movement here. Reverse. Let's flow in the other direction. And then stillness here. Walking the hands up the strap. Let's encourage the leg into the body and really activate that back of the legs. We're going to press firmly out through the heel, the back of the knee. This is going to give us that wonderful calf stretch and a wonderful hamstring stretch. Left foot to the left. Let's open it up, landing in that inner leg stretch. Nice hip opener here. And just make sure that you feel that nice evenness in the right side and the left side of your body. We don't want to be lifting and rolling up too much to the left. So get that nice grounding in the right side. Let's take ourselves back to center. Right leg can straighten out. We'll take our left foot to the right for a twist. IT band stretch here. And just getting that nice stretch into the waist, to the side of the body. And release. Let's float ourselves back to center. Take your strap and let's just bring that right on off to the side of the mat. We can use that in just a little bit. Feet come out nice and wide to the edges of your mat. Let's do a windshield wipe to the right and to the left. Great. Let's take our feet in line with our hips. Knees will be bent. Gentle support to the back of the head. Let's engage the core here. So tailbone tucks, navel back and up to the spine a bit. Begin to lift the head. We'll lift the neck and shoulders up and then lower down to the mat. Begin to lift and lengthen up and lower. And just flow with the breath here for a moment. Try to keep the core engaged the whole time. Try to get that nice grounding in the mid back. You might feel the low back lift from the mat a little bit. And try not to crank your head here. I'm just going to offer that nice gentle support to the back of the head. And release. Let's float the knees to our chest. We can hug them in. Arms, hands around knees or shins. Gentle rock to the right and to the left. Let's bring it on up to seated. So we could do a rock and roll through the spine to come on up. And then as you come on up into seated, let's grab onto our strap. And of course, feel free to sit in any position that feels comfortable for the legs. If cross legs bothers the knees, extend the legs out in front of you. So we're gonna take that strap. If it's a bit long, feel free to just fold it in half so that you don't have so much strap to work with here. We are going to take our hands up and overhead. So hands can be a bit wider than the shoulders. And shift to the left and the right. So we're just going to work on creating a bit of lateral movement in the spine. And as you move, really try to reach and stretch up and out of the waist. So it's very easy to collapse into the sides of the body on this one. Reach and stretch up and out of the waist. Find that length from side to side. Let's take a moment to pause, releasing the hands to the left, and then trying to roll that left shoulder under a little bit, and then right shoulder rolls back slightly. Back to center, nice full breath to lengthen. Let's take our hands off to the right. Right hand rolls under, left arm rolls open. Full breath in and out. Let's come on back to center. We will realign here. Now let's imagine if we could pull that strap apart. So we're just going to work our hands in opposite directions and then pulling those hands out to the sides of the room just to give a little different stretch in the arms. Try to feel all of the muscles activated and working. Good. Let's begin to release that strap on down and we're going to float ourselves forward into tabletop. So as you come in into table, if you would like to pad the knees, maybe grab a blanket. Knees and hips are in line, wrists and shoulders are in line. Feel the fingers fan out nice and wide here. So press down through the index finger and press down through the thumb. Let's begin to circle the hips out. So maybe find large circles here, maybe find smaller circles. Circle in the other direction, so I'll just reverse that movement. Back on through to stillness here. Float it into table, down dog on exhale. Shake it out a little bit here. Bend one knee and the other knee. Relax your head, yes. Relax your head, no. And toes to the hands. Let's bring it into a fold. Shake it out a little bit. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Relax your head, yes, and relax your head, no. Let's bring it to stillness here. We'll take ourselves into a half lift. Fold yourself to the mat. Let's bring it on up to stand. Nice full breath in as you rise on up. And then hands at the heart space as you exhale. Let's come into chair pose from here. So feet are in line with your hips and begin to drop your hips back and down. Try to draw the weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light and almost create a little sensation like the toes could lift from the mat. Right leg rises up. We'll try a balancing chair pose. Now, sometimes this right hip will kind of roll up a little bit. So try to draw that down to even off your low back and hips. Let's bring it into a crescent warrior from here. So right foot will take a float back right onto the toes of your right foot so that the majority of your foot is lifted. And really activate that back leg. So we want to press firmly through the heel and the back of the knee. Try to feel that your leg is active, engaged, and energized. Now, floating through some movement here, coming down if you'd like, so you could take a little bend, deep bend, maybe that knee does a tap down. We're gonna float that one back on through to crescent. And lower, you can find a little movement with the hands if you'd like. Rising with the breath. Let's go 7 times total. Back on through. Let's do a reset into crescent and then back on through to chair. So springing off your right foot and then hips back and down. Gaze down. Make sure that you can see the tips of your toes. We just don't want our knees to float too far forward on this one. Left knee rises. Let's try that balancing chair pose. Balancing off the hips and the low back. Floating that foot back. Let's take it to crescent. Now crescent, we also call this one a high lunge position. Try to feel that your hips and your shoulders are squaring forward here. Now you can hold your stillness, maybe float into a bit of a pulsing warrior. Again, 7 times total. Good, back on through. Let's take it to chair, left foot to right, hips back, hips down. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let's bring ourselves down into a forward fold from here. Now shake it out if you'd like. Sometimes a nice bend in one knee and then a nice bend in the other knee. And just help to reset the legs and the hips a little bit. Stillness here. Let's take ourselves to half lift. Forward fold. Come on up. It's a rise for mountain. Hands at the heart. Good. Let's go back to that strap. We'll do a little shoulder floss. So this one is so great for creating more mobility in the shoulders. So if you'd like, your feet can be in line with your hips, maybe a little wider. We are going to have our strap nice and long this time. So if you had it folded, you can unfold it. The wider the hands, the better as we start, and then you can see how it's going. We are going to try to take our hands behind our body and gently relax them down. Coming on up, releasing in the front. So we want to create this nice smooth movement. So even movement in the shoulders. Sometimes I'll see people really trying to force themselves into it. So let's try to have our arms lowering at the same time and then rising. And if you have to stop here, that's perfectly wonderful. You don't have to go all the way back. To make your stretch easier, you are going to have your hands further from one another. To make it easier, you won't lower back quite as far. Maybe you're going to stop up there somewhere. To make it more challenging, hands are going to walk in towards one another. So the distance between the hands will be a bit shorter. And also to make it more challenging, you can lower the strap all the way back. So this is great for a rotator cuff, and it can also help with the spine a little bit. If you find that you are rounding a lot through the workday, this can really help to open up the heart space, open up the chest, help to relax the shoulders a bit. Great, let's release that one down so we can take our shoulders, and we'll take 3 shoulder rolls here. Take the shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale, exhale, and one more time. Breathe in and out. So let's try another stretch with our strap. So what we'll do is you can fold that strap right in half, and we'll create a little loop. So our strap will go in our right hand. We'll have our little loop that we have in the right hand. Now take your right foot and bring the top of your foot right into your loop. And then you'll just kind of relax your foot behind you. So this is a variation of a king dancer pose. And if you need a wall for support or something to hold on to, feel free to grab for that. Now for this pose, what we can do is begin to kick the foot into the strap and allow for your stomach and your chest to come forward a little bit. Try to squeeze those elbows in as well. So I love dancer. Dancer brings so many positive benefits. So when we layer on the king dancer, it brings more benefits. This one is that really wonderful shoulder stretch, great shoulder opener. Nice stretch for so many different muscles in the arm as well. So anytime we're balancing, find your drishti. Try to find that one spot to focus your concentration and awareness. Now let's bring ourselves on out of that one. Give yourself a breath, reset the feet. Now we have our loop in our left hand. You are just going to take that left foot up, put it right into your loop. And it is a little bit of a change of the wrist as well. So if you have your strap in your hand, you can just kind of do a little flip of the wrist to hold that strap up and overhead. Good. Now let's begin to kick the foot into the strap. Float yourself forward. Don't forget about those elbows. Try to squeeze them in towards one another. And breathe. So we are going to get nice and grounded in that right foot. So try to press through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency if you tend to roll in or out. And release. Let's float that one out. We can take that strap, release it down to the ground. Let's take 3 shoulder rolls here. Good. I always love changing it up a little bit with that one. It can be such a nice, good, different kind of stretch. Great. Let's flip ourselves back and through into that chair pose. So we'll take our feet in line with our hips and then drop your hips back and down. Hands can reach to the sky. Now try to connect with your breath. Breathe into the stomach, into the ribs, and into the chest. Right leg can rise on up. We'll take our balancing chair pose. Try not to feel that right hip rising up too much. Roll it down. Even off the hips and the low back. Right foot comes back. Let's bring it to warrior one from here. So on our warrior one pose, we have that nice deep bend in the front knee. Back heel is grounded and planted down. Press firmly into the outer edge of your back foot. Give yourself a little calf stretch here. Give yourself that hamstring stretch. Hands will come into steeple, so fingers will interlock. Release the index fingers. Nice full breath to lengthen, and let's create a bit of a back bend here. So we're going to take our steeple hands and then gently draw them to the back of the room. Try to open the chest and the heart. Relax your shoulders back and down. And reset. Warrior one. And open into warrior two pose. So we'll feel that front heel line up with the back arch. The shoulders are over your hips. Feel your hands reach forward and reach back. Now for this warrior two, let's create a bit of movement. So we'll straighten out our front leg, hands can reach and stretch to the sky. Let's bring it on down. Full breath in, rise on up. Release. And finding your own rhythmic flow here. So if you wanted to make the stretch deeper, you can bend deeper into that front knee each time. Good. Let's come back on through for warrior two. We'll take reverse, float it up and float it back. Backhand can glide on the back leg. Maybe wrap your arm around your low back, reach for the other hip crease, take a half bind. Core engages. Let's bring it through. We'll try out a lateral angle here. Arm down to the leg, hand to the sky, and maybe extended lateral angle. Maybe lower the hand all the way down to the mat. Trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder, lifting and lengthening here with the breath. Core engages. Let's rise on up. Reset. Warrior two. From here, let's windmill the hands down. We're going to bring ourselves into a runner's lunge. Right leg rises to the sky, standing splits pose. So as we take standing split, gaze to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind the body. 5 crunches here, knee into nose on exhale. Let's do a little round and a little crunch. Send your leg up and float it back. Exhale, round. Up and back. 3 more times. Back on through to standing splits. Let's come into a fold with our legs crossed. So we'll take our right foot to the left. Line your toes up, line your heels up, and then fold over the fronts of the legs as you exhale. So we're going to work with a transition into a yogi squat pose. So we're going to walk our hands to the right, and then you're going to keep your feet planted, but lift your heels up. So you're going to lift your heels up, spin on the toes and the balls of the feet. We're going to just do a half circle here. So you're going to be facing the opposite direction than you just were. Now take your feet out nice and wide. Let your toes turn out, heels shift in. And then if knees are feeling okay, let's come on back into Malasana, Garland's pose. Now in our yogi squat, feel free to grab some props if you need them. So you can put a block underneath your hips. You can roll a blanket and take that underneath the knees if you need to. Now we're going to prop ourselves back and up into a forward fold. So you can walk your feet in just a little bit, maybe an inch or two. Have your toes pointing straight forward. Now let's continue that circle, and we are going to land at the top of our mat back with our legs crossed in the forward fold. So walk your hands to the right, lift up your heels, spin on the toes, spin on the balls of the feet. Let's walk our hands to frame the top of our yoga mat. Line your toes up, line your heels up, and fold over the fronts of the legs as you exhale. Good. Let's unwrap our legs into a traditional forward fold from here. Bring yourself into your halfway lift. Fold yourself down to the mat. Rise on up, mountain, breathe in. Hands at the heart, breathe out. Let's take chair pose as you breathe in. Hips drop back and down. So let's feel that weight floating back into the heels. Try to feel the arms really active. Arms are engaged, palms face one another. Left knee rises. When you're ready, let's try that balancing chair pose. Make sure that you're breathing here. We don't want to hold the breath. So nice deep full in breath and out breath. Float your foot back. We'll take warrior one pose from here. So left foot back. Left heel lowers, hands to the sky on inhale. Let's feel the core engage on this one. That might give you a little bit more of a quad stretch. So feel your tailbone tuck. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine slightly. Hands into steeple. Nice full breath here to lengthen. Let's try to offer that heart forward and create your back bend. Breathe into your low back, mid back, and upper back bend. Float yourself up. Warrior one. Open. Warrior two. So an important alignment cue in warrior two is to keep an eye on your right knee. So sometimes this knee will draw into the center of the mat, especially if we're trying to square our hips and our shoulders to the side of the room. So when you gaze down to your right knee, make sure that your knee tracks in line with the second and the third toe. Movement on this one, leg will straighten, hands to the side. Let's float it down. Rise up with a breath. Release. Good. Let's take this one back and through. Warrior two, finding stillness, reverse, peaceful warrior. Right hand up and back. Palm can face down. Core engages. Let's do a little windmill and cartwheel down for that lateral angle. And maybe lowering the hand down for extended lateral angle. Core engages. Let's bring it on up. Reset to warrior two pose. Windmill the hands down. Let's bring ourselves into a runner's lunge. Left leg rises, standing splits. In standing splits, maybe look at your navel. Really try to relax your head. Knee into your nose on exhale. Let's round and crunch. Float it up, float it back. Exhale, round. Up and back. Let's go 3 more times here. Now back on through to standing splits. Let's come into our fold with our legs crossed. So left foot will move off to the right. Take that opportunity to line your toes up, line your heels up. Now we're going to come back into our yogi squat to the back of our yoga mat. Walk your hands to your left. Lift up your heels. Spin on your toes. Spin on the balls of the feet. As you come to the back of your mat, feet come out nice and wide. Hang out here in your fold with the legs wide. Option to bring it into yogi squat pose. Now draw the weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light. Almost create a bit of a sensation like the toes could lift from the mat. We're going to prep ourselves back on through into our fold. Take your feet in line with your hips, so draw them in a little bit, but we do want a little space in between them. Now continue your full circle. Walk your hands to your left. Spin on the toes and the balls of the feet. We're going to land back at the top of our yoga mat with our legs crossed in a forward fold. Line your toes up, line your heels up, and fold over the fronts of the legs as you exhale. Let's unwrap the legs. We'll take ourselves back on through into a fold. Maybe shake it out a little bit here. Take yourself into your halfway lift. Fold yourself to the mat. Let's rise on up. Nice full breath in. And hands at the heart as you exhale. Let's take our hands to the sky. Breathe in. And fold. Lower your stomach. Lift up through the heart. Plant your hands. Let's come on back into a plank position. We'll try our high push-up. Lower all the way down to the mat. So from here, we'll work a little bit with our quads. So since we have our strap, if you need your strap, you can loop your strap around your foot and pull it into your body. So let's start with our left leg. Left knee will bend. You can reach back for your foot, and then we'll just begin to pull that foot into the body a little bit. Now, if you have your strap and you need that, you can always use that to pull the leg in a little bit. I know this one can bring up a lot of stretching, so try to use your breath on this one. Try to open up the quad with each exhale. Nice opportunity to open up the hip flexor and the psoas as well. And release. Let's take that left leg, relax it back. And we can take our right hand for the right foot, or maybe use your strap if you need to. Maybe close the eyes. Do a scan of your body. Notice where you might be holding on to tension. With each exhale, try to let that tension go. Try to allow for your body to relax and release into the stretch. And release. Let's press ourselves on up into tabletop. And in table, circling out through the hips a little bit here. Reverse. Let's foot in the other direction. Feet can sweep to the right or the left. Let's come into seated. And then as you come into seated, legs will extend right out in front of you. Flex your feet, press through the heels and the backs of the knees. Full breath here to lengthen. Let's fold on down as you exhale. Maybe with each exhale, just letting yourself move deeper and deeper into the stretch. You can just feel the stomach lowering and the heart lowering. And release. Let's bring it on up to seated. Come down onto your back from here. And as you come onto the back, we will work with a half happy baby stretch. So for half happy baby, we'll start with our left leg. So you can take your left leg up into a 90-degree angle. Now flex your foot. Imagine that you could stomp your foot up on the ceiling. Your right leg, you can straighten that leg out if you wanted, and you can also bend your knee and plant your foot. Feel free to do a little rock side to side. You may want to find stillness here, so you have different options. And then as you find your stillness here, we can just take a moment to just try to move a little deeper into this one. Maybe really flex that foot, feel the knee encouraging down towards the ground. Get that nice hip stretch here. And release. Let's take the left foot down, right leg comes up. Flex your foot. Knee encourages down. Maybe straighten that left leg out if you'd like. Maybe a bit of movement or stillness, whichever you prefer. Giving yourself that time to pause, holding stillness, flexing your foot. Feel the knee encourage down. And this is a wonderful stretch for your legs and your hips. And it can really help to benefit the low back if you feel that the low back is a little cranky throughout the day. This can really offer a lot of relief. Let's let that one go. We can take our feet nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Knees are bent. Let's drop to the right and to the left. Coming into stillness here. Let's take a little time for Shavasana. We'll take some relaxation time. So legs can relax, arms can relax. If you'd like, you could have your knees bent, feet are planted. Maybe take those feet out nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Palms face up. Maybe take the hands on the body here. Let your eyes close. Letting the breath deepen. Wiggling fingers and toes. Come on to the side. Let's bring it to a fetal position. Floating on up. Seated pose when you're ready. As you come to seated, hands can be at the heart in Anjali Mudra in prayer position. Thank yourself for practicing yoga today, for doing something so good for your mind, body, and spirit. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. It's wonderful to be here with you and practice yoga with you. I hope you have a fantastic day today, and I look forward to seeing you next class. Take care.
Hey, thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome.